need the thing. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our afternoon show of Reel to Reel. Thanks for tuning in, whether you're seeing this live or watching this later on our Facebook or YouTube. We still really appreciate it. My name is Nathan Peterson.
And my name is Tanner Miller.
Earlier today, the show recovered and recorded Speak No Evil. So if you didn't get a chance to see that, make sure to watch that episode after this episode.
Right now, we're covering The Killer's Game by J.J. Perry and starring Dave Bautista.
Whoa. Tanner, slow down. We still have to watch the trailer before we get into the nitty-gritty.
How did you end up here?
Work.
What do you do?
Retirement planning.
You should smile more often. It suits you.
I'm gonna live till I die.
There's only two ways out of the killer's game, Joseph. You walk away clean, or you go out on your back.
Joe, are you okay?
Live until I die.
I'm afraid I've got some bad news, Joe. It's terminal.
How long do I have?
Best case, 3 months.
I don't want Maisie to see me fall like that.
The blues I lay low.
What brings you to my door?
I need a contract executed.
Who do you want retired?
Me.
I've thought about doing this for years. You killed my father. This way, I kill you and get paid.
They're gonna say
$2 million for Joe Flood. Daddy's gotta go to work.
Gets me wet.
Whatever turns you on.
I'll make them stay low.
Oh, Flood, thank God. There's been a mistake. They switched your scan with another patient. You're not gonna die, but you might want to get your eyes checked.
I'm gonna live
I'm canceling the contract.
You think this changes anything?
till I die.
I'm calling in every hit on Europe, you hear me?
Yeah, well, you tell them to pack light. Because they won't fucking be staying.
What is going on, Joe?
Maisie, I'm a hitman.
What? You kill people?
That's what an assassin is, yeah. Did he just hit me with a motorcycle? That's just disrespectful.
Do you think I can...
This shit.
Tape the game. I got you.
Until I
I'm gonna kill them. Fuck you. Have you had your eyes checked?
The Killer's Game stars Dave Bautista as Joe Flood, a hired gun on top of the assassin game.
However, like Tanner's very disappointing 2-month linebacker career, a series of debilitating headaches turns his life upside down when it's revealed to him at a doctor's visit that he has a neurodegenerative disease that will kill him within months.
Unlike my football career, Joe, wanting to go out on his own terms after just meeting the love of his life, played by Sophia Boutella, authorizes a hit on himself so she will get his $1 million life insurance policy.
But just as the contract goes live, Joe gets a call from his doctor telling him that the brain scans were mixed up and he will eventually and actually live for a very long time, unlike this guy.
Talk about a headache, eh, Nathan?
Oh my gosh.
Joe tries to cancel the hit at the last minute, but the assassin who takes it on is played by Pom Clementine, who is out for revenge on Joe, who had killed her father earlier on in his career.
Joe is left to fight off the hordes of assassins out for his head. Desperate to live out the rest of his days with his love, some of the assassins include Terry Crews, Drew Galloway, and Lee Hoon.
Wow, seems pretty intense, huh?
Yeah, I guess so, Tanner. Let's take a quick look at some of the action in the film.
You good, yeah? Alright. Alright, cut. Let's move on. Nice. Okay, good. Let's cover now. Flavio, I need some coverage of the this for sure. Just watch from her real quick. So, kick to the groin. Good. All the way through. Boom. And then he goes down, and then boom, and he goes all the way through. Yeah, and he goes to the ground. Good. And then that punch comes all the way through. Good. Pop. That's it right there. So this is a good one, and this is a good one. Okay. This is where we need to be.
Joe Flood may think he can hold off a few assassins, but he can't fight an army too.
Ready? In 3, 2, 1, action. Cut.
Wow, that was pretty interesting, wasn't it, Nathan?
Yeah, it sure was. Oh, by the way, Tanner, did you know that the budget for this film was $30 million? And so far it's only grossed $2.6 million.
Only 2.6? That's less money than Joe Flood's bounty by the end of the movie.
I mean, it's still more money than you got in your career, but it is true. It was projected to gross around $5 million opening weekend, but it made only a bit over $1 million.
Well, Nathan, did you know that The Killer's Game was originally a book from 1997 of the same name by J. Bunninsinga?
Why does that name sound familiar?
Well, it might be because he's written 8 of the Walking Dead books between 2011 and 2017. That's more than 1 book per year, not including the other 2 books he released during that time.
Wow. You must feel really similar to those books, seeing as you were a zombie for about 5 months. Enough about books, though. Let's get back to the movie itself. Did you know that Nicolas Cage and Jason Statham were originally considered to be the leading role before Dave Bautista took the spot as Joe Flood?
No, I didn't know that Dave Bautista wasn't the first pick. But I did know that Terry Crews and Dave Bautista had always wanted to work on a movie together. So Bautista actually called Terry Crews, seeing if he would like to take the role instead of the planned person.
Who was the person planned to take the character?
Believe it or not, it was actually supposed to be Ice Cube. But due to scheduling conflicts, he ended up being able to not do it.
Ooh, guess that glacier melted. I can't really picture Love Doll as Ice Cube. It just doesn't seem right to me. One final thing, though, before we move on. Tanner, did you realize that 3 of the actors in this movie were also in Marvel movies?
I did know that Dave Bautista is Drax, but who else acted in Marvel movies?
You're right about Drax, actually. But Palm Cleantiff plays Mantis, meaning that the enemies of this movie are allies of the Guardians of the Galaxy. Also, Ben Kingsley plays the fake Mandarin from Iron Man 3 and Shang-Chi.
Wow, that was a lot of facts. It's kind of giving me a headache. So let's move on to commercial break before we get into our reviews.
Commercial? Ooh.
We really try and keep track of what's going on in the world as far as what are the trends. And so when a student comes here, they're learning the marketing aspects of video production with turnkey. So they learn how to write, storyboard, and capture video, set lights, set audio, and then they learn how to edit everything from start to finish.
We believe that we are providing a transformative educational experience. It's hands-on, it's project-based, it's portfolio-based, it's based on real-world industry experiences.
They take deep dives on all of these. You know, a lot of the classes are tiered, so you get an entry-level course and then an advanced, and then, you know, you hit your capstone projects where you're bringing them all together. So it's nice the way that they structure it and help you get a deeper understanding of stuff that you may or may not have thought you already had a good handle on.
The Killer's Game is somewhat slow to start off before ramping up into the action-packed scenes. The acting definitely isn't going to win anybody an Oscar award, but it's still extremely entertaining for what it is. The gore in the movie seems cartoonish and goofy, and I think that it works in the favor of the action and the bizarre characters. It felt almost as if I was watching a cheesy video game from the early 2000s. The Killer's Game follows a similar format to John Wick 2, where all of the hitmen are coming after John Wick. But in this instance, all of these eccentric assassins are after Joe Flood. All of the introductions for the hitmen are these extravagant kills that form their name out of blood or cocaine. It's very similar to how Borderlands introduces villains. That just adds on more to the fact that this movie is like watching a video game. Unfortunately, there was a lot of CGI blood rather than practical effects, which kind of takes away from the scenes sometimes, but, you know, it's how it is. Dave Bautista was a good choice in my opinion for a serious assassin role because he just looks the part. Sofia Boutella's character, Maisie, was bland for the most part, but her acting was definitely her saving grace. Finally, my favorite character, Love Doll, was played by Terry Crews. He stood out as the comic relief for the film, which is honestly no surprise because it seems like Terry Crews is always meant to be a funny character. He really works in this movie as a serious man when he really needs to be that kind of character. Even though The Killer's Game has plenty of issues, they're overshadowed by the pure entertainment value of it all. I'm gonna have to give The Killer's Game a solid 4 out of 5 reels. What do you think, Tanner? What do you think, Tanner?
This really wasn't my cup of tea, but if you're looking for a movie with a good amount of action to turn off your brain to, this is definitely for you. The Killer's Game, however, definitely lives up to his R rating, with CGI blood and gore that almost felt excessive to me. But I do have to admit that the fights are pretty creative, and I, as gruesome as some of the kills were, did get some morbid enjoyment out of them. You can definitely tell that director J.J. Parrott has been working in stunts and fights for his entire career since 1987, and in titles like Django Unchained, John Wick Chapter 2, and some of the MCU films. You are right, though, that the movie did feel like Borderlands with its stylized character intros. However, I hoped for more out of these assassins when they were so hyped up with those intros like that. The Killer's Game also felt like a video game for more than me than that, as it almost follows a video game structure, like you were saying, hopping back and forth between exposition leading up to a big fight, and quieting back down just to build up right to the next one. I did, however, like the relationship between Batista's Joe Flood and Batoa's Maisie, as it felt like a real loving relationship, and it was fairly sweet. Well, as sweet as it could be between a couple being chased down by people looking to kill them at any opportunity. I'll give The Killer's Game 3 out of 5 reels.
Well. That's all we have for you in today's show. We hope you enjoyed it.
Be sure to check out our Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram account. And if you like what you see, consider giving them a follow.
Also, be sure to let us know what you think about our review. Do you agree with us, or do you think that we're as good with opinions as stormtroopers are with their aim?
Also, be sure to let us know what other movies you'd like us to take a look at next.
Yeah. See you around.
See ya.